What's up, guys? Today we're diving deep into Thunderbolts Doomstrike issue number 3. And trust me, this one's a gut punch. We're talking betrayal, heartbreak, and the kind of tactical chess game that would make Nick Fury lose sleep. When Black Widow's encrypted warning reaches our heroes, it sets off a chain of events that turns a high-stakes heist into something far more devastating. Bucky Barnes and his team thought they were just hitting a vibranium mine, but Doom's forces were 10 steps ahead. Let's get into it. The encrypted transmission flickers across Black Widow's secure channel, her voice dripping with the weight of imminent defeat. Don't know if you saw the news. Eternity knows. If I were you, I'd have stopped watching by now. But the Prime Minister finally signed the damn thing. This isn't just bad news. This is apocalyptic. Wakanda, with its mountain of vibranium, its advanced technology, its proud warrior tradition, now answers to Doom. The longest standing independent nation in human history has just bent the knee. For the people of Wakanda, it's a tragedy beyond measure. For those of us still fighting, it's a death sentence, Black Widow explains as we see a military vehicle approach a Wakandan checkpoint, where Karen Trilby from World Aid News presents her press credentials. We just lost the arms race 1,000-fold. What happens when the world's greatest tyrant gains access to an infinite supply of the most powerful metal on Earth? What happens when the last line of defense falls? The resistance is about to find out. All the outer circle intel and guerrilla tactics in the world won't make a fight against infinite vibranium go our way, Black Widow's transmission continues. You'll say Bucky was being reckless. You'll call him worse for letting him go and giving him my support. But we had one chance to kick Doom in the teeth and make sure the fight for freedom lived on. We had to take it. The scene shifts to the heart of Wakanda, where a small strike team prepares for what could be their final mission. Songbird, Sharon Carter, now operating under the codename Destroyer, and Bucky Barnes, the man once knew as Winter Soldier, now calling himself Revolution. 3 people against an empire. Their target, the Great Mound, Wakanda's largest vibranium mine, now threatened by Doom's control. Their mission? Make sure Doom never gets his hands on that vibranium. Maybe it was doomed from the start, Black Widow admits, but at the beginning, it almost felt like hope. The trio rendezvous with their inside help. Wakanda's Midnight Angels, Anika and Ayo. These proud warriors stand defiantly against their nation's surrender, armor gleaming, weapons ready. Ayo's voice burns with fierce pride. Do not let the flags and the traitor parliament fool you. The Dora Milaje may bow to Doom, but when you fly with the Midnight Angels, it is through unconquered skies. They stand at the edge of the Great Mound as Anika explains their mission. We have 10 minutes to disable the largest vibranium mine in Wakanda, so it is never claimed by the tyrant of Latveria. Ayo fixes Bucky with a stare that could melt vibranium. Hear me, Revolution. We know well your works. This will not be a Shelbyville. The reference hangs in the air, a previous mission where Bucky was blamed for nuking an entire town. This site is holy to us. We will not see it obliterated. You have my word, Bucky vows. Anika's response sends chills down the spine, and we will assure you keep it, even if we all must die. Sharon smirks at the intensity. Wow, these ladies are fun, huh? But the moment of levity is cut short as Ayo notices something wrong. The Great Mound is automated, yes, but never without guards. Sharon considers this. Doom does staff all his security with hackable robots. Maybe Black Widow's little trick blinding the satellite surveillance worked better than we thought. But Black Widow's voice cuts in, filled with dread. I wish it had, but it hadn't. At first, we thought something was interrupting our operation, but it wasn't our operation at all. It was theirs. Bucky tenses suddenly, his enhanced senses picking up what the others can't yet detect. No, don't you hear that, Destroyer? His eyes scan the darkening sky. The thunder? The air crackles with energy before green lightning splits the heavens, striking the ground near the team. As the blinding flash fades, they find themselves surrounded by a nightmare-made flesh. Mock Doom, the infinite weapons platform formerly known as Beetle. Moonstone, the world's smartest sociopath. Fixer, master of all machines. Atlas, a giant who towers over them all. And their leader, Citizen V, commander of the Fulgur Victoris, Doom Secret Police Squad. Alright, Thunderbolts, Citizen V announces with cold satisfaction. Let's take back the name. Songbird's eyes widen in shock as she sees Mock Doom. Abner, she whispers, her voice catching. Abner Jenkins, her former teammate, her former lover, supposedly dead, now standing before her in Doom's colors. As missiles strike toward them, Bucky shouts, "Thunderbolts! Behind me! Now!" Black Widow's message continues with painful insight. Abner Jenkins had died fighting on the right side of history with the woman he loved. Songbird never thought she'd see him again. It made her reckless, which must have been the plan. They didn't need to separate us with overwhelming firepower when they had the weakness in our hearts. Ignoring Bucky's orders, Songbird charges toward Mock Doom. "Sorry, Bucky, but I'm not hiding." "So much for pack tactics," Bucky mutters. Sharon glances at him. "That's your old team, right? Didn't know you ran with scumbags, Barnes." Shielding Sharon and the Midnight Angels with his metal arm, Bucky responds, "They're freelancers, Sharon, not heroes. There's a reason I only recruited Songbird this time." "Hey Buck, nice new arm you got there," Fixer taunts as energy blasts shatter Bucky's liquid metal arm. "Too bad you didn't stick with the one I made you. Solid metal may have its limits, but it's a lot less vulnerable than the liquid kind." "Thought you were supposed to be the smart one, Norbert," Bucky retorts. Citizen V sneers. "He is. That's why he picked the winning side." "Alright, Eric, now you can smash," Fixer commands. Black Widow's voice provides context. You might recall Eric Jostin, rejected 17 times from the Avengers, scored lower than any other career superhero in the history of the application exam. Thought Rendezvous was a kind of cheese, but there's a reason Jarvis kept letting him audition, because when it came down to brawn, Atlas was off the charts. Atlas' massive fists slam into the ground. The impact sends everyone airborne. "Damn it," Bucky shouts. "Keep the pressure up there. I'm in free fall." "Fixer, take the destroyer and safeguard Atlas," Citizen V orders. "Barnes is mine." In free fall, Bucky unleashes a hail of bullets that Citizen V deflects with her sword in a deadly mid-air battle. "Hell of a trap, Valentina." "Hardly. You practically told me where you were going when you fled into the Texas sky." Meanwhile, Sharon's bullets bounce harmlessly off Fixer's force field. "Bullets?" he mocks. "You plan to take down my tech pack with a 17th century invention? Hydra talks about the destroyer like an unbeatable boogeyman, but you're just another baseline rube with a gun." The battle reaches its cruel climax as Citizen V's sword finds its mark, piercing Bucky's ribs. "Poetic, really," she says coldly, "picking the site of your own execution." The Midnight Angels soar into battle against Atlas. "To the skies, beloved," Ao calls out. "Let us show the Goliath that it is unwelcome in the heart of Bast." "Goliath?" Atlas bellows, indignant. "That was my bad guy name. Get it right." Moonstone sighs with disdain. "Semantics, Eric. Kill them and be done with it." Meanwhile, Bucky and Citizen V crash to Earth. Bucky positions her beneath him to break his fall, following through with a devastating punch that cracks her mask. "Don't count your chickens, V. You haven't killed me yet." Across the battlefield, Sharon finally shatters Fixer's force field, cutting off his shocked protest. "My shield. How are you?" "My suit's laced with explosive negonite from Dimension Z, Fixer," she explains coldly. "Your little backpack energy fields are just another wall to break down." Black Widow's voice interjects with tactical insight. But Citizen V wasn't trying to kill Bucky. She was trying to beat him. Atlas, still grappling with the Midnight Angels, attempts reason. "Hey, Wakandan Iron Ladies, can you cut it out? I'm trying to be humane about this. We're the good guys here. We're fighting to support world peace." "Oh, Atlas, my sweet, sweet boy," Moonstone purrs. "There's no such thing as good guys." The emotional core of the battle unfolds between Songbird and Mock Doom. Abe, Songbird pleads, her voice cracking. Whatever Doom's told you, it's a lie. Please stop this. Doom doesn't lie, not to his faithful, Mock Doom responds, his voice mechanical, yet somehow still carrying the ghost of Abner Jenkins. Faithful? Take off the helmet, Abner. Talk to me. She reaches for his mask, desperate for connection. Not until your team stands down, his voice softens. Then we can be together. Stop this rebellion, Melissa. Turn your back on the villain you once were, or I will do it by force. Please, Melissa. I'm doing this because I love you. The blast that follows sends Songbird reeling backward, her pink energy shields barely containing the force. Songbird! Sharon's cry pierces the chaos. Fixer's voice carries a false comfort. I know it's hard, Mal, but it's for the best. That's Abner in there, I promise. His soul. Doom used his magic and everything. Tears streamed down Songbird's face. No, all he did was tell you what you wanted to hear, and it's your souls he got in return. As Songbird's primal scream echoes across the battlefield, a sonic wave of pure heartbreak, Citizen V moves to finish Bucky, their blades dancing like lightning against the darkening sky. The revolution. What a joke, she taunts. An assassin in spandex, parading around like Steve Rogers, when we both know all you want is violence, as a blunt weapon for better men. If you know anything about me at all, Bucky counters, parrying her thrust, you know I don't believe in the idea of better men. Better women, then, she sneers. No, Bucky's voice hardens with conviction. There are just people who fight for truth and people who live on lies. The battlefield erupts in chaos. Citizen V clashes with Bucky. Annika engages Atlas with twin vibranium blades, while Moonstone divides her attention between Ayo and the recovering Songbird. In a brutal moment that will live in infamy, Annika's blade finds Atlas's eye. His bellow of pain shakes the mountain itself. Yet Bucky and Citizen V continue their deadly dance, neither giving ground. Finally gaining the upper hand, Bucky holds his sword to Citizen V's throat as she lies prone. Now tell me again what kind of man I am. Her lips curl into a cruel smile. The dead kind. Mock Doom, prepare annihilation package. Secondary authorization required, Mock Doom responds mechanically. Val, come on, Fixer protests. We don't need it. That would destroy half the... Moonstone cuts him off. Damn it, Norbert, you made this contingency. You're going to get cold feet now? Fixer hesitates before surrendering. Fixer 1 authorized. Mock Doom's arsenal unfolds in its full, terrifying glory. Missile banks, energy cannons, reality warping disruptors, annihilation package armed for Doom. Funny thing about vibranium, Citizen V taunts from beneath Bucky's blade. It absorbs all the kinetic energy you can throw at it, but it can't store it for long. Need to put it somewhere. Her eyes gleam with the reflection of Mock Doom's weapon system coming online. You know what happens when you bomb a vibranium mine? Are you ready for another Shelbyville? Black Widow's voice carries resignation. Like I said, they beat us before we even entered the field. The weight of realization crashes down on Bucky. If that vibranium detonates, the blast radius would encompass half of Wakanda. Millions would die. We surrender, Bucky says, dropping his sword. No! Ayo's anguished cry pierces the air as she cradles Annika. Retreating from the battlefield, their mission in ruins. As Mock Doom raises his weapons, Citizen V waves him down. Let them run. Doom wants the world to know what happened here today, almost as much as he wants his prize. The hilt of her sword finds Bucky's temple, and darkness claims him. Black Widow's message continues with urgency. He's been missing for 2 weeks. We don't know if he's alive or dead. All we know is that good people let a madman act as their conscience. I know you're in deep, but we need you, and we need you now, because when no one else will stand up for freedom, that's when we are truly lost. On a monitor, somewhere, text flashes. Message intercept. Receiver unknown. The scene shifts to a darkened chamber where Bucky Barnes, the man called Revolution, wakes up in chains that snake around his neck and wrists. His eyes flutter open as a commanding voice fills the chamber. Wake up, James Buchanan Barnes. Do not attempt to attack. You will only die on this ancient stone. Your revolution is at an end, but rejoice, for your salvation is at hand. Let us begin. The final reveal, Dr. Doom himself, seated before an elaborate feast prepared for his captive. The perfect image of terrible hospitality, a tyrant's victory dinner with the captured rebel leader. Doom sits up, his metal mask reflecting the dim light. Tell me, Barnes, when the last light of freedom is snuffed out, what will you have left to fight for? The ultimate question hangs in the air as we fade to black. This is how empires fall, not what they bang, but what they surrender. And this is just the beginning of the terror of Dr. Doom's New World Order. And that's how Thunderbolts Doomstrike number 3 leaves us, with Bucky Barnes in chains, facing Dr. Doom across a feast table in what might be the most uncomfortable dinner party in Marvel history. The brilliance of this issue lies in how it subverts our expectations. What started as a mission to protect Wakanda's vibranium mines ends with our heroes scattered, the Midnight Angels in retreat, and Songbird forced to confront a twisted version of the man she loved. The real gut punch? This wasn't just a tactical defeat. It was psychological warfare at its finest. Doom's forces didn't just outgun our heroes, they used their hearts against them. From Songbird's connection to Mock Doom, to Citizen V's brutal read of Bucky's character, every wound cut deeper than physical damage. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments. What do you think Doom has planned for Bucky? And can the Thunderbolts come back from a loss this devastating? Until next time, keep reading, keep theorizing, and remember, sometimes the greatest battles aren't won with fists, but with minds. Catch you in the next one. Peace.